Ever wondered how to make the perfect cold brew espresso martini at home? Welcome to the world of mixology, where today we're shaking up a classic, the espresso martini. But not just any espresso martini, a cold brew espresso martini. For this, we'll need 50 milliliters of cold brew coffee, 30 milliliters of vodka, 20 milliliters of coffee liqueur, and a handful of ice cubes. Sounds simple, right? Well, let's dive into the process. First things first, you need a good quality cold brew coffee. And to get that, you need freshly ground coffee beans. Why freshly ground? Because they retain their flavor much more than pre-ground beans. So, start by grinding your beans to a coarse consistency, akin to raw sugar. Next, you're going to need cold water. Yes, it's called cold brew for a reason. The cold water helps extract the flavors slowly and without the bitterness that hot water can sometimes bring. Now comes the waiting game. Combine your freshly ground beans with cold water in a jar or a French press and let it steep. This isn't your quick morning coffee. Cold brew takes time, about 12 to 24 hours. Once your coffee has steeped, you'll need to filter it. Use a fine mesh sieve or a coffee filter to separate the grounds from your delicious cold brew. Now that you have your cold brew coffee ready, let's move on to the exciting part. With your cold brew coffee in hand, it's time to mix the ingredients. Begin by pouring a generous measure of vodka into your cocktail shaker. This forms the strong spirited base of your espresso martini. Up next, we introduce the coffee liqueur. This sweet, coffee-flavored concoction adds depth and complexity to your cocktail. Now it's time for the star of the show, your homemade cold brew coffee. Pour it into the shaker, over the vodka and coffee liqueur. The cold brew brings a smooth, rich coffee flavor, balancing out the sweetness of the liqueur and the punch of the vodka. Once all your ingredients are together, it's time to shake things up. Add a handful of ice cubes into the shaker and give it a good, vigorous shake. This not only chills the drink, but also blends all the flavors together. Keep shaking until the outside of the shaker feels cold to the touch. And voila! You have your very own homemade cold brew espresso martini. Now that your drink is ready, it's time for the final touch. Let's bring out the star of the show, our chilled martini glass. Pour the delightful mixture into the glass, letting the fusion of coffee and liquor cascade down. If you're feeling a bit fancy, why not garnish your drink? A trio of coffee beans atop the frothy layer adds an aesthetic appeal and a whisper of aroma. And there you have it, a perfect cold brew espresso martini to enjoy at home.